Hey, so today's lesson is on triangle midsegments. First of all, we need to define what a midsegment is. So, a midsegment is a line that connects two midpoints. So, if I take, for instance, the midpoint of this line, which we're just going to have to do kind of an estimation, and the midpoint of this line, and connect them, that is a midsegment. Another fun fact, midsegments are parallel to the third side. Now, what do I mean by third side? Well, the midsegment's touching two of the sides, so it can't be parallel to those because it touches them. So it's parallel to the third side, the one it doesn't touch. We represent this with these arrows. Remember, arrows mean parallel. And our last fact is a midsegment is half the length of the parallel side. Okay, there are a total of 3 mid-segments in every triangle. The first one I drew is here, but there are 2 more here and here. They kind of form a little triangle inside the big one, but these are 3 midsegments. And a midsegment is half the length of its parallel side. We are going to use that information to do these examples. So, if I know that a midsegment is half the length of the parallel side, well, here I have a midsegment. I have its parallel side is 24. Half of 24 is 12. For the next example, my midsegment is 4x and my parallel side is 104. Well, if the midsegment is half of the parallel side, that just means I can double my midsegment. So wouldn't you agree that a midsegment and another midsegment would equal the whole thing? If it's half, that means you double it, it's going to equal the whole thing. So that means I can say that 2 times my midsegment, when I do 2 times my midsegment, it's the same thing as doubling it. If I double my midsegment, it should equal my parallel side. Well, 2 times 4x makes 8x. So I solve for this by dividing by 8. When I divide by 8, x is 13. And in our last example, my midsegment is 2x. My parallel side is 5x minus 25. So the same concept kind of applies here. If I double my midsegment, it should equal my parallel side. Remember, if it's half, the midsegment is half of that. If I double it, then they'll be equal. So I'm going to double my midsegment. So 2 times 2x, that's doubling it, should equal my parallel side. 5x minus 25. So now we just have to solve. 2 times 2x makes 4x. Now I need to put my x's together. So I'm going to subtract 5x from over here and over here. 4x minus 5x makes negative x equals negative 25. And since they're both negative, I can multiply or divide both of them by -1, which means x is 25. And that's midsegments.